like I said, anything that you do, there's opportunities that we may miss. There's opportunities to get it right, and I think we've gotten it right.
You work in that direction.
Yeah.
But one of the areas that you have mentioned in the past, you have been committed in the past, to grow a community just for the sake of growth is not the best objective. But to grow a city that continually improves in its quality, improve in its livability, improve in its beauty, that's what Murfreesboro has been doing. So you are really working toward a quality community. As we talked off air before, for so many years, and a lot of folks listening who have lived in the community and have seen it evolve, this always was a feeder community to Nashville. People commuted to Nashville to shop, to eat, medical services, and what have you. Today, you're not only a self community that people find everything here, but you also draw people from throughout Middle Tennessee to enjoy the facilities and in quote, the endeavors that make up Murfreesboro.
Well, as you look now, look at our downtown as we're trying to make our downtown vibrant. Just like I stated before, most every city that is thriving right now has a vibrant downtown. I think we're
Mm-hmm.
headed in that direction. We've got some projects that we think they're going to change the scope of downtown. But if you look at Nashville, and we all can attest that Nashville is a growing metropolis city.
Yes.
But the key to Nashville and what we're going to try, we want to bring here is they got different pockets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got 12 South, you got Houston, the Wedgwood area, you got the Gulch. They got multiple different, and I think as we continue to grow, we can do the same thing. We've got Las Casas area, we've got the Blackman area, we've got the
Mm-hmm.
downtown area. So I think as we can continue to grow, let's work on what makes Murfreesboro this small little city, even though we've got the big city feel now, but we're still that small city. And we want to make sure that we get, if our constituents are asking for apartments or condos downtown, let's look at opportunities to bring those downtown because we want people living downtown, working downtown, and enjoying downtown. And I think as you look at the projects that as we got going on, that's what we're trying to get people to experience and realize, hey, give us a little time. It takes time to get things worked out, but we're on the right direction. And I think Murfreesboro, the city as a whole, is going in the right direction.
You raised another really, really interesting thing to me again before we came on, Mike, about people commenting about traffic. I think I would put the question to you: if we didn't have a traffic issue, what would be the results of the community?
If you don't have traffic, you're not growing.
Or you're not
and
existing
and
in a.
we can go to some small cities, towns
Mhm.
around here, and they have no traffic.
And no
But
jobs,
no traffic,
facility.
no jobs, not a vibrant town. So I tell people all the time with traffic, it's an opportunity.
Hmm.
It's an opportunity. You know what? Opportunity to go another way. Opportunity to learn a different route around your city. So that's part as you grow. That's growing pains that you're gonna have, regardless of what city it is. I mean, we're just like any other city, and I don't think our traffic is as bad as most people say it is. But that's opportunity. We're as we talk about Thompson Lane. We've been
Hmm.
talking about widening Thompson Lane now, and we're at that stage. I mean, it's going to be a 4-year process, but you know what? Let's get through the process. Once we get through the process, we're going to see that this is worthwhile. And we've been trying to get Thompson Lane widened for at least 10 or 12 years, and now it's just now coming to fruition.
Which part of it?
All of
All,
Thompson.
all
Yeah,
of Thompson.
all of
Okay.
Thompson Lane. Yeah, it's going to be a 4-year project.
Wow.
Yeah, and so you're talking about the infrastructure, sidewalks, utilities. It's gonna be a massive project, and I think that project is $123 million
Wow.
investment to trying to widen Thompson Lane to a 4 lane.
And you know what's going to be interesting during construction? and many residents will look for alternative routes so they're not stop and start if there's that need within the widening project. And that suddenly develops all new patterns. But, speak about some of the many, many programs, activities that the city can be very proud of. And I always like to start with public safety, both your police and fire departments and emergency response.
Well, when you talk about those two things, I think that's one thing that we've gotten right. We've tried to make sure that our police and fire are well equipped. And when I say well equipped, we're just making sure that they're well equipped when it comes to having people. And I think right now we're not at capacity, but as far as the hiring process, they're up to par. And when I say up to par is we've got enough officers on the street, and we're steady recruiting officers and firemen. They do a great job.
Yes, they do.
And one of the things I think that may come up, and it's been talked about nationally, is the flock cameras.
That's very controversial in some areas.
It is,
But it may have some great benefit.
yeah. I don't like to stay away from controversy, but I would like to say this. If you're not doing anything wrong, what's the problem? Those cameras are not peeping in on your children or in your bedroom. Those cameras are for the safety of our community, and that's why they're there. And just like we talk about flock cameras, what do you think your phone is doing when it's sitting beside you and it's tracking you?
Absolutely.
What do you think? Everywhere we go, something is tracking us. When you walk by somebody's house, they've got a Ring door camera. It's tracking you. And what we're trying to get people to understand is flock cameras is not out there invading your privacy. We're getting these to track people that are doing something wrong, individuals that are doing something wrong.
I
out
would
there.
be curious, Kurt, on this, and this is where information and communications play such a key role. I would be interested to learn of actual stories of resolving and solving crime, and how that crime, a very serious, critical crime, how the solving of it was directly related to the ability to see it on camera and identify and license numbers, suspects, and so forth. So, it'd be really neat to see that not only conceptually is it great, but in reality, it works.
It actually works. When we had the bank robbery on Northfield a while back, that's how that crime was solved so
Wow.
quickly, is because of flock cameras. They were able to get the license plates. And there's been a couple shootings that we've caught the individual just because the flock camera caught the license plate. And that's extremely important, and
Sure.
that's why we got them there, and that's why we say this is important to us. It helps our police officers out determine solving a crime quicker than normal. And like I said, I think it's a good thing, and I think we got to get people to understand we're not trying to invade your privacy.
Right.
What
It's
we're
not Big
trying,
Brother.
yeah, yeah. We're trying it. What we're trying to do is all about safety, safety, and being safety among our community. I mean, we're not the only one using flock cameras. Flock cameras are everywhere now. I mean, they're in communities, they're in neighborhoods, they're at schools.
Businesses.
There's business. They're everywhere.
Yep.
So I just think as we go back to our service providers, they do an excellent job. As we continue to grow, we're spread it out now, but we're doing an excellent job in making sure that this is a community everybody wants to live in. But it's a community that it's a safe community.
Yes.
Because when you have a safe community, people want to come and say, hey, you know what? We've heard good stories about Murfreesboro. It's a safe place to live, and we think this is a great place to raise a family.
Do you know, in buying a house, and many, many people do not realize this, if you're ever buying a new house and you're concerned or interested in the neighborhood, you always can go down to your police department and get an updated crime report
That's
of
right.
the particular area you're looking at and determine is it safe. and it's information that is extraordinarily valuable.
Everything's open. Mostly everything is open that you can get. You can get it online. You can find stuff if you're searching about what's good. And just go up to the city's website. I mean, there's a lot of data on there that we keep on our city website that will let you know some good things about Murfreesboro. And I tell people all the time, as we continue to grow, let's look at what we can do to make Murfreesboro even better.
Sure.
We have people that say, hey, we need another sports com. And I agree. We probably do need another sports com on the west side of town. But it takes money. You just can't
And
get everything. Yeah,
prioritizing.
you can't just get everything at one time. We probably need a performance arts center. I mean, you think about, look at Nashville. Martha Ingram just passed, blessings her, condolences to her family. But look what she did to Nashville. When you got Performance Arts Center down there in Nashville, it changed the complexity
Sure
of
it did.
downtown. They started bringing things to Nashville. Think about if we had something like that here in Murfreesboro.
Absolutely. And plus, your town and gown relationship with MTSU certainly is an asset here, that you do so many things between the city and the university, and that's an asset right here that augments of what you're saying.
We are blessed to have MTSU here in our backyard. And I think as we continue to grow and build that relationship with MTSU, as MTSU grows, the city grows. As the city goes, MTSU grows. And I think that working relationship, as we continue to build that, it's going to make MTSU better, and it's going to make the city of Murfreesboro even better.
One of the things you and your colleagues on the council are to be highly complimented. And I want to be very sure that this hour is not just compliment and encouragement and thank you to the city of Murfreesboro, but I think it has to be said, because so often we're so easy to be ones to complain and ones to criticize, and very seldom do we just say not just thank you in a meaningless way, but thank you truly to the men and women who commit themselves both as elected officials as well as appointed and staff people who are making this go. And one word on the city council related to public safety. You revised your salary and benefit package, that now you are very competitive in recruiting new personnel in public safety that are looking here rather than looking at a larger, distant area and only using this as a stopgap. So the people who are, quote, in the police, in fire, and other related activities, you've gone a long way to retain.
Well, if you look at society today, what's lagging is salaries. Salaries are lagging with the cost of living here, and we just want to make sure that our men and women are taken care of when it comes to public safety. Because without those people, we wouldn't have the safety and the keep that we have in our city. And we want to keep our good people, because we don't want to train people here and then all of a sudden they move
They're
to
leaving.
Nashville.
Your investment is new.
And we don't want to invest that type of money, and all of a sudden we have everybody jumping ship. And I think we've done the right things.
Sure.
And like I said, we don't want to make this sound like Murfreesboro is the greatest place to live, but you know what? It's a great place for
Yes,
us.
it is.
It's a great place for us. We want to promote some good things about Murfreesboro, and like I said, we have opportunities. We probably made some mistakes down the way.
You're
you know,
human.
yeah, but we've also done some things right, and we've always tried to make sure that we've done some things to get it right. If we see that we've done something wrong in the past, all right, let's turn this around and say, hey, maybe let's look at another format on how we do this, because we want to make it right. We want to make sure people and our citizens here understand that if you like living here, other people like living here. We want our kids to live here. So let's make it a beautiful place for them to live. I mean, one of the things that I hear most of, people talk about our greenways.
I was just going to comment.
Our greenways are outstanding,
Mhm.
and it gives people something to do. We want people to be outside walking and enjoying the nature. We've given them that, And I think that's a big plus to Murfreesboro for concentrating on the greenways and making sure it's something that everybody can do.
And overall, not just the greenways, but your entire park
Park
development
system.
and recreational facilities
It's
and
awesome.
senior citizens service.
That's right. That's right.
And what have you. Sure, you would like to do more. It's like one's personal life. You would like to have this and you would like to have that, but living within the means, because I think we must say at this point, Murfreesboro has also been managed and operated in a very fiscal, um, quality manner. You know, you're not overspending, you're not putting us in debt. In fact, I mean, the revenue that you now generate from the sale to
Electric.
Middle Tennessee Electric,
Yeah.
you know, certainly, talk about that for a moment, where the proceeds
I think
are
it
going.
has. I think it has paid off for us. I think a lot of people were against that merger when it happened, but I think it's something that, as we look back now, it's given us the opportunity to do some things in our city and use some capital that we didn't have, and it also puts us on solid ground as far as where our finances are
Right.
these days. And so I think that sale was very beneficial to our city. And if you look at some of the things that we've invested in, it's because of the sale. And some of the things that we've able, even with our road systems, we couldn't just say we were going to TDOT saying, hey, we want this road done faster. All right, we need some money. We had to get money from somewhere, and if
Sure.
we didn't have money sitting around that we could use, that probably those projects wouldn't have happened as fast. And so I think we've done some good things. I think if anybody looks back on the merger, I think what they'll see is, I think it benefited us, and it benefited Middle Tennessee Electric as well.
And if you had merged with a utility that was poor in service, poor in response, poor in customer relations, even though the benefit may be obvious, the implications may be negative. But I will say this, without reservation, MTE is just, a very well run quality service. So it's not a fact that the service level reduced. The service level at least remained the same quality when it was under City of Murfreesboro.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think Chris Jones and his team out there, they do an outstanding job. And if you go back to the winter months when they stepped up to the plate,
Yes, that's key.
and people lost their electricity, they were right there, Johnny on the spot, to making sure that these people would get their electricity back on. They addressed the issue. They didn't run from the issue. And we saw how other communities struggled. And I think those people that were in Chris's zone, they did an outstanding job.
Yep.
And he should be recommended for that as, outstanding work for him and
Star
his
of the
team.
day.
That's right. That's right. So,
Well, speaking of that, even though we're now, it's 8 months out, the amount of quality work your public works department did after the storm of last January, and a lot of communities in Middle Tennessee did not have the same positive responsive service as your PW did after the ice storm we had. And, citizens should not be normally taking this for granted. These are men and women that are putting their time, their love, their passion, their effort not to do a good job, but to do a quality job.
that's exactly right. I think what you saw was our team was prepared.
Yes.
And we were prepared for the unexpected, and I think our team did an outstanding job, and that starts at leadership. I think we were prepared as up top to let our staff understand, hey,
Right.
this could happen at any point in time. We don't know what's going to happen, but we need to be prepared. And I think what you saw was our streets were clean.
Yep.
Our men and women, they were out there all day and all night, making sure that our streets were clean for our citizens to get to work or wherever they had to go, and nobody got stuck. And so I think that's a form of leadership. And just like I was telling you earlier, I think what we've done here in our city is We're not perfect, but
No.
we've got some things right. And that starts with leadership. And when you got good leadership and you start thinking about the global picture and the big picture, this is what happens.
If you had a magic wand, we're going to give you a new tool as a member of the council. If you had a magic wand to make Murfreesboro not continually great, but perhaps the greatest within the state of Tennessee or among the greatest within the United States, what might that magic wand touch?
I think the magic wand would touch our people. Let's give people an opportunity. I wish we can get more jobs coming to our city, and then our people don't have to travel to Nashville or surrounding counties, because I think people enjoy being here in Murfreesboro. They don't want to be on 24 stuck.
Stop, start, stop,
Yeah,
start, stop,
they don't want to
start.
be stuck on 24 for an hour or two every day. So I think opportunity of bringing more quality jobs here in Murfreesboro helps each and every one of us. That's the tool I think that would change how Murfreesboro is presented, and if we had mass transportation.
We'll be right back. Continuing, get the magic wand fired up there, Kurt. And we'll be right back after these words from our wonderful and certainly appreciated sponsors.
When it comes to your child's health,
You want care that's close, convenient.
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
Here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo,
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you.
Every step of the way.
What's the location of your emergency? I think my kid OD'd.
Hi, I'm Craig Harris. I'm County Commissioner of Rutherford County. One of the reasons I ran for office is because I wanted to bring awareness to the opioid epidemic that's impacting our county. To stop providing this epidemic with people as we educate. We have a lot to do, and we have to come together as a community because this problem's not going away.
Well, yeah, I'll be right there.
It takes all of us to power a community, both in plain sight and behind the scenes. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
What is it, girl? You say there are people winning big all over the state? How? They're playing instant games from the Tennessee Lottery with chances to win a whole lot of bones? Fantastic! Where can I play? At any lottery retailer? Oh, what a good girl. Now show me the way. Find your game-changing fun today with instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Please play responsibly.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and AmeriCare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
It didn't cost me anything to call the law office of John Day.
I didn't have to pay just to seek out legal advice.
They handled it all, and they were very good.
The law offices of John Day. Call for your free consultation.
My name is Pat, and we are very real clients of the law offices of John Day.
We called the law office of John Day. They came to our rescue and took care of us, and we are very happy with them.
Injured by a big truck? Trust the law offices of John Day.
Now, Good Neighbor Events. Here's Bart Walker.
The Murfreesboro Police Department has 2 Citizens Police Academies beginning next week, both on August 18th. There's the Teen Citizens Police Academy and the regular Citizens Police Academy, both offered by the Murfreesboro Police Department. If you want to be in those, you'd better contact them quickly. Again, they both begin on August 18th. In addition, the City of Laverne is offering a Citizens Police Academy. For more information on their program, contact the Laverne Police Department. Big Fish continues this weekend at the Arts Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. Learn how to dream big. Don't miss Big Fish. 2 more weekends at the Arts Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. Don't throw away old glory. Bring your tattered American flag to WGNS and let the girls from BSA Troop 2019 at Trinity United Methodist Church retire it with dignity. Plus, we also recycle Bibles. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
A heat advisory remains in effect. A blend of clouds and sun today with a slight chance of thunderstorms. Daytime highs approaching 97. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Right now, it's 81 degrees.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. If you've recently changed your phone number or email, make sure you update your details at MTE.com. It's the best way for MTE to reach you quickly with important outage updates.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Bill Krause, second segment of the WGNS Radio Roundtable on the Thursday morning edition. We've been talking about the magic wand of Murfreesboro, for Murfreesboro, directed to Murfreesboro, held by Councilman Kirt Wade. And it's so delightful to hear Kirt's comment. And what I'm going to comment before we get back to Kirt is his hope and his optimism and his dreams and his vision. You know, this is what's so key, not only in the elected official, but in the staff. Have a dream, have an ideal. Magic wand making Murfreesboro second to none. So downtown Murfreesboro, the square, new residents, planned communities.
Think about what Nashville looked like 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody went downtown. It wasn't vibrant. Think about what Chattanooga downtown looked like.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't vibrant. Even we can go and talk about Huntsville. Was Huntsville on anybody's radar? It wasn't.
No.
Wasn't. So that same perspective that I've talked about those other cities, let's bring it to Murfreesboro.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to get on people's radar, but for us here that lives here in the city, let's make sure that we take care of our people that are here, born, raised here, been here forever. Let's make sure it's vibrant. I mean, look at Farmers Market.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we should always keep. We should never get out of the mode of getting rid of the Farmers Market, because you know what? People like coming downtown. People like walking around the Farmers Market. That's who we are.
Sure.
We still have that small town feeling, and as we continue to grow, I want to make sure we keep that, but we want a more vibrant downtown. We don't want downtown to close at 6 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
We want downtown to be vibrant up to 9, 10 o'clock or whatever, because people are living downtown, people are socializing downtown, people are eating downtown, people are spending their money downtown. And I think we're close to getting there. And, you know, I keep saying that, I keep talking about our downtown, but it's we're on the possibility brink of getting there now. You know, just like at the end of the break, we talked about, okay, look at our downtown right now. We're working over here at the bottoms. We're trying to make sure our downtown is a little bit more valuable now. And I think what we see is this: if we can get WNGS situated, it kickstarts everything. I think it kickstarts how we can talk about condos, apartments being downtown. And right now, I think all of that's I think our staff is doing a good job of keeping this project moving, and just like we talked about, everything's about financing right now.
Yep.
Yeah, we're living in a world where banks are scared to finance certain projects, whether it's mixed use or condos or apartments going together. It's all about financing, and we've got to be a little patient, making sure that this thing works out in the right way. We build it the right way, because when you drive downtown in the next 5 years, we want to see a different downtown. We want to see a change, a growing downtown, and we want to see people downtown. And right now, we're seeing more people move downtown. You know, if you walk around our city, there's a lot more new houses that are coming up on these certain streets around here, and we've seen a town that's looking more vibrant, and I like that. I like I want to see our downtown to be vibrant, because if you ask the merchants that have business downtown, they want to see more business downtown. They want to see more people downtown, and I think that's what we're trying to create here.
I haven't checked this out, and I'm sure many have, and I've always considered it as a criteria of community involvement, positively or negatively. Do you know off the top of your head, Kirt, the percentage turnout of the vote last election?
I don't know that off the top of the head. I think this past turnout was better than last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people came out and voted. You know, I think the voting. What we've got to get people to understand how important local elections are.
Yes. Yes.
You can complain all you want, but until you get out and vote, that's where your vote counts. When people say your vote don't count, it really does. And I hate to hear that when they say your vote don't count. Yeah, it does.
Ask the candidate for governor in Wisconsin.
Exactly.
I mean, you take a look at that percentage.
That's right.
Whether you agree or disagree is not material. It's the question is, you were so right. Every vote counts.
Yeah, every vote counts. And I think with Randy Allen coming on with the county mayor, we have an opportunity to work together with the city. You know, we want to do what's best for Rutherford County and what's best for Murfreesboro. And I think anytime that we all can work together, it makes us better. We're better together than separated and divided. And I think that should be our motto: trying to work together and working well together.
You have an excellent working relationship, even beyond a working relationship, a historical relationship with both school districts that serve Murfreesboro City Schools and Rutherford County Schools. And that linkage, you know, the future of the community, the future of America, certainly depends upon the quality of education of our next generations. So your relationship with both Murfreesboro City Schools and Rutherford County is great.
Well, and I think that's one of the things when people talk about moving to Murfreesboro, that's one of the first things. Besides, we were talking about the greenways, but one of the other first things people ask about, what about your school systems? And that's the one thing that we can say is, whether you're in the county or whether you're in the city, we've got good school systems, and I think that's something that we should be proud of. And that goes back to what we have in front of those two school systems is good leadership.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One more reversion to another service of the city is, again, I want to stress public works. We take so many things for granted. We hope the traffic signals are well coordinated and cycled. We hope the streets do not have potholes.
That's right.
We hope, you know, that street widenings will include convenience as well as quality engineering. Public works, and I guess I even have to hit the area, and it's not meant to create controversy.
Okay.
But when you have an area and you have trash as a result of that area, the concern and question of what do you do with trash generated, and it's in tons and tons and tons.
You know, that's a $1 million question. You know, just like our stance with the city is, we don't want any more outside trash brought into Rutherford County. And we've said that from day one, and we will continue to say that. That the landfill should not be expanded. When you start talking about taking on trash from Nashville and 30 other counties or even more,
sure,
that's a lot. That's everybody's trash. We don't want to be the dumping bed of everybody's trash. And so for us is we're going to continue to fight to say, hey, no more outside trash in Murfreesboro or in Rutherford County. Let's see what we can do together to making sure that there's no more outside trash. Let's see how this works out. We don't know how this is going to turn out, but as the staff and city and as elected official for the city, we're definitely against any expanding the landfill. And I think as we continue to grow, and I think people see, and if you just look at the landfill, look at how big the landfill has grown in the last 15 years. I mean, it's huge out there now. I mean, it's Mount Trashmore. That's basically what it is. And we stand firm about not wanting any more trash in Rutherford County, Murfreesboro, and we stand firm to the fact that we think that's what our citizens don't want any more trash. We want to make sure that that environment, the water, everything out there is not populated or not chemically infested with trash being taken to the dump. So, like I said, we've got some opportunities still in the works with the city, with the dump out there, and we're going to still stand fast on what we think is right for the citizens.
Well, it goes back to what we were talking before. For so many years, Murfreesboro and Rutherford County were feeder counties into Middle Tennessee, Nashville, and the central areas. And as a result, being a feeder county, we were also a recipient county of trash and excess coming from Nashville. But since the role has so dramatically changed that we are a community that stands alone, literally the center of state of Tennessee, we're no longer a recipient county. We're a creative county for our own purposes. Back to the magic wand. How do you encourage in a growth community participation? And that's why I asked the question earlier about voting turnout.
I think what we have to do is keeping our citizens engaged. Engage is, say, when we start talking about Thompson Lane, we had a town hall meeting or community meeting talking about, hey, here's the expectations.
How was turnout?
I think the turnout was pretty good.
Good.
And I think what we're trying to do is, the more we get people involved, I think the more that they understand what's going on. And then once you get them involved, I think that also leads them to the poll and say, you know what, my vote does count. I've seen some of the things that either I like or I dislike, and I'm going to go vote.
Sure.
And what I've always said to get people to vote, to get them to understand whether you like somebody or you dislike somebody, if you vote for them or if you vote against them, it's still your right to vote.
Sure.
When you don't do that, you don't have any right to complain.
Yep.
We have a lot of people complaining but not voting. And if you want to make a difference, go vote. I don't care which way you vote, just go vote. And that shows that you're really understanding what's going on in the community, and I want to be tied in the community. And, you know, I tell people all the time, we've got 30, I think there's 30 different opportunities, seats that you can sit on
commissions,
with the committees with the city. Get involved to know what's going on. And if you don't, and every council has their telephone numbers on their website. You know what, if you want to ask us something, feel free to call us. Because, you know, as far as elected officials, that's our job.
And your number is?
615-818-1002.
One more time?
615-818-1002.
And I know you return calls and you return emails.
Yes, I do.
And so forth.
Yeah.
And the email address for you?
The best email address for me is tkwade@thepricepaving.com.
Oh, no, that's not a council email.
No, that's
your
that's my personal.
Say that one more time.
It's TK Wade at thepricepaving.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me get to one of your loves. You love sports.
Yep.
Are you making any predictions with this forthcoming fall season coming up?
Either
high school or college?
I am not. I like to look at sports. I like football. I like basketball. I like baseball. I like it all. But one of the things about Murfreesboro is we got good quality high school sports here.
Yes.
And I think people take that thing for granted, and I don't take that for granted because we've got great facilities. It goes back to our park and recs. We've got great facilities here, and I just I think people ought to take notice that we do a great job presenting sports to our kids. That's another avenue to get them to do something different. They're all not going to go pro. They're all not going to do anything, but it's an opportunity to build. And when I say build, it's build relationships. What we don't do anymore is build relationships.
And maintain them.
Sure. And just like you and I have been friends for a long time.
Longer
than a lot of people know. But what sports does, it brings different people with different backgrounds together. And it lets them understand, hey, we can live together, work together, we can play together, but we don't have to come from the same background, but yet we can still respect each other.
We'll be right back after these words from our sponsor.
When it comes to your child's health,
you want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
Here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo,
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you.
Every step of the way.
When the weather turns bad, minutes, even seconds matter.
This is an early heads up for southern Rutherford County.
Rutherford Weather brings you live radar and expert meteorologist insight, giving you the early heads up when storms threaten.
A lot of areas are going to see some impacts from this storm.
From analysis to live camera views, we keep you informed before, during, and after the storm.
I think the vast majority of the hail with this now is going to be quarter to perhaps golf ball size.
Rutherford Weather. Stay ahead of the storm.
SRM Concrete is the largest ready-mix producer in the country, yet is still family-owned and operated. Locally grown, nationally known, SRM delivers unmatched quality and service. You called, we haul. We're SRM Concrete.
First Shot transforms Rutherford County youth. Coach Andy Herzer leads dynamic basketball camps and clinics, building skills and character since 2003. Kids dive into exciting STEM projects, sparking creativity through hands-on coding, art, and dance. They elevate their mind, spirit, and body in summer and winter programs. Visit FirstShotTN.org today to learn more. First Shot, where kids gain, elevate, and develop.
Premier 6 Theater on Broad in Jackson Heights.
Let's all go to the movies.
Check out what's showing at MurfreesboroMovies.com. Popcorn popped fresh daily.
Movies like a good old primitive.
Premier 6 on Broad in Jackson Heights.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Bill Krause concluding comments of the WGNS Radio Roundtable, and I hope you have enjoyed as much as I thoroughly enjoyed, for many reasons, both obvious as well as subtle, the open and positive comments from one member of our city council here in Murfreesboro, Kirt Wade. Kirt, let's say we were meeting 5 years from today on the round table. What might you be saying to me 5 years from today. Promises kept, dreams realized, hopes reality. What might you see Murfreesboro just in 5 short years? And I got to tell you, those 5 years go quickly.
They go very quickly. I would hope to say, hey, Bill, see what we've done with downtown. See what we've done with different pockets in our city.
WGNS News Studios.
The new studio that we're
Yes.
sitting in. And I think if we can say all those things within the next 5 years, we've done our job. And I think what you'll see is a different, vibrant downtown. I think you'll see a different, vibrant Blackman area over there. We've got the park coming over there. I mean, I think you'll see a vibrant area off of Las Casas. I mean, you think about it. You got the Medical Center over there now. You've got things that are coming to different pockets of our
Sure.
city, and I think that
Even
that,
a Buc-ee's.
even Buc-ee's. Hey, you got to mention Buc-ee's
And
you
a
know.
Costco.
Yeah, Costco. I mean, but you think of even with Buc-ee's alone, you know, they're talking about 15,000 people a day coming to our city. But the most important thing is that infrastructure out there on Elam Road and Joe B. Jackson, that wasn't paid for by the city. Buc-ee's paid for all of that. Buc-ee's took the initiative to say, hey, if we're going to put something in your city, we're going to make sure that the transportation and the traffic is put
Accommodated,
in,
yep.
accommodated, and they paid for that.
Yep.
And so I think you're talking 200 jobs.
Wow.
You're talking pay starting out at $18 an hour, or even let's put it into I think $50,000 to pay going to $200,000.
And how many brisket sandwiches?
Hey, there's tons of brisket sandwiches, and I think that's an opportunity for us to show Murfreesboro to the world. And because think about this, you're probably going to have some people. Not only they're going to stop at Buc-ee's, think about those people that spend the night. Think about those people that say, you know what, we're going through Murfreesboro. We know we're going to stop at Buc-ee's, but you know what? Since we're there, let's just spend the night. So that's eventually more tax dollars being spent in our community. And I think right now we're estimating, sales tax $3 million a year.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of benefits to Buc-ee's coming to here to Murfreesboro.
But it's really interesting to look at projected revenue for a public agency. And I think one of the greatest limitations is the expectation of the money flow for highways and streets, primarily by the state. Financing is primarily through gas tax.
That's right.
But the interesting point is when gas tax first became significant, the average miles per gallon that a car got was 6 to 8 miles per gallon.
That's right.
And as we've made cars so much more efficient,
Yep.
plus the electric car, plus the hybrid and so forth, the amount of revenue per car in gas tax has gone way down. And you begin to think, you fill up for gas and how much gas tax are you paying? What would that have been like 30 years ago?
That's right.
So the source of revenue reduces to the increase of demand, more cars, more miles, and so forth. And this is part of the underlying area of financing. If you decide to, quote, build high density, and it's very efficient to put a number of housing units together, the cost of putting sewer systems in, water systems in,
That's right.
utility systems. But yet, on the other hand, do your police calls come up because people normally don't like to live so close together, and friction and conflict can occur? So everything in revenue and expenses at all levels of public agencies, but it's so identifiable in the local city, county levels, is it all has some direct and indirect impact.
I think what you just said, Bill, there is everything that we do as a city council, it impacts our daily lives.
Exactly.
And that's what it goes back to why you should vote.
Exactly.
And that's why we talk all the time about your vote counts. What you have to say, it matters. And our job as council and the mayor's office is to make sure we're listening to our constituents and listening to what they think is the best need. And then we come back and say, hey, we like this idea, or you know what, maybe we need to tweak something. And I think that's what we've done in the past. And I can remember everybody says, we don't want any more apartments. We don't want any more apartments. We don't want any more apartments. But if you look at the apartments that we've already got approved, I think the apartment capacity right now, I think they're full. They're right at 98%.
Occupancy rate.
Yeah, occupancy rate now is 98%, and that's outstanding. And what I try to tell people is, everybody doesn't want to live in a house. Some people want to live in apartments. So we got to make sure we have an accommodation for each segment of town. I mean, when you're first getting out of college, who can afford a house right now? You can't afford a house right now. So the next best option is either townhouse or apartments. So I think we're on the right track. I think we've done some good things. Just like you talked about our service providers. I don't even want to talk about just our service providers. I want to just talk about the people that work for our city. You know, we take a lot of things for granted. Things don't happen just because. It happened because we got good people working in our city and making sure our city and operations go well on a daily basis. And I think sometimes we have a tendency to forget that. And I want to make sure I give a shout out to the people that work for our city. You guys do an outstanding job. You guys make us look good.
And your colleagues, you know, you may not always agree.
Yep.
You got a group of people, but it's like a great marriage. You know, you're in love, but you fight.
That's it. And you know what? We just had 3 of our colleagues just got reelected, and then our mayor just got reelected. I look forward to working with them again, and I look forward to how we can always looking out, trying to make Murfreesboro better.
And the men and women, as you said earlier, on all of your commissions and advisory committees. You know, the time they spend, the energy they spend, the enthusiasm. Well, you know, it's been a great, great pleasure, Kirt, to have you back. I want to have you back sooner next time than the distance we've had this time. You bring so much to not only city government, but so much to the love and feelings for the city of Murfreesboro. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for having me, and we look forward to continue to trying to make a difference in our community.
And I know you will. See you next week, folks. Bye.
Pick up or check out our new merch, Toots.com.
Toots. Hi, this is Wade Hayes at Toots Restaurants. By now, you probably know we've been open over 40 years in the oldest full-service restaurant in Murfreesboro, but we're on our 23rd year in Smyrna.
Hi, this is Jack Hayes with Toots Restaurants. Toots, good food and fun since 1985.
Good food and fun.
Access Tennessee News, I'm Caitlin Jones. The company planning to build a data center by the Nashville Zoo is suing the Nashville government. The lawsuit cites Metro's ordinance that defines data centers, and it targets Mayor Freddie O'Connell's executive order barring data center development. The company, DC Blocks, says those actions are a targeted attack against the company and in violation of federal constitutional protections. Well, some travelers from the volunteer state have been facing issues with their real ID not being accepted by the TSA when scanned. TSA confirmed the issue, saying they're aware that a small number of driver's licenses are not being read by TSA. However, the state says anyone whose license poses a problem at the airport can get a free replacement at a nearby driver services center. Travelers can also bring a federal form of ID, such as a passport, to the airport as a backup option.